So दोस्तों, as I had said that yes, आज है बहुत बहुत ही खास दिन, and May the 4th be with you. Yes, we are celebrating Star Wars, and आज मेरे साथ एक बहुत ही special guest है, and so here is our special guest, Navya, who has joined us because she takes deep interest in what? Comics? So, Navya, would you please say hello to all my wonderful listeners out there?
Hello, my name is Navya and I'm 11 years old.
Awesome. So, Navya, today it's May 4th, and I had promised all my listeners that I would have someone special to talk about the comic day. So, what it is all about? Do you love comics? Do you love to read comics?
Yeah, I read a lot of comics at home.
So, at home, so at what age did you start reading comic books?
I think 7 or 6.
7 or 6. Okay, so what is it that you love about comic books? What is it?
I love how the art style is and how usually the plot is for the comic books. So, yeah.
Okay, so we are going to talk about. Do you think we actually should have a special day to celebrate comic books? Do you think we should have a special day in the year?
We should have a special day to celebrate everything, not just comic books.
Okay, I agree. We should have special day to celebrate actually everything, not just comics or especially. So this is very beautiful. So we have Navya with us. Navya goes to, she's 11 years old. And I wanted to have Navya especially for today because most of the time I do see Navya doing at home is what? Create stories. So Navya, tell us about the kind of t-shirt that you're wearing today.
I'm wearing a Star Wars t-shirt.
And why is that? Why do you...
Because it's May 4th.
Okay, May 4th. What is so special about May 4th? And why do people
Star
keep
Wars
saying...
Day.
Star Wars Day, okay. So yes, let's talk about Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I just love Star Wars. You know, when I've watched Star Wars so many times, probably all of the Star Wars, and there's another new one that's coming. Okay, now let me ask you this: who's actually your favorite character from Star Wars?
My favorite character is Princess Leia because she shows girl power basically, and she shows that there's a strong feminine side in us.
You know what? I was actually going to talk about Princess Leia, played by Carrie Fisher, right?
Yes,
Carrie
she
Fisher.
died
She
recently.
died. Yes. And I was reading an article and actually published by, it was a post created by United Nations, and just this morning that how Carrie Fisher in the role of Princess Leia in a man's fiction fantasy world, she is the hero, right? And this is amazing. I mean, when was this movie done? 80s or sometime? I think so. I think around
in
that
1970s.
70 or 70s or something.
70s.
And yes, and around that time, just imagine, people really wanted put a female, woman hero character there, right? So much of inspiration, inspiring. This is really very beautiful. Can you be a little louder, because I want my listeners to listen to what you're saying. And and who else do you like from Star Wars?
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader? Why Darth Vader?
Because he was actually a good man before.
Okay.
If you watch the sequels, but since his wife died, and his wife was a princess, so that's why he had anger in him and hurtness in him. So that's why he went to the dark side.
He went to the dark side. So he did have some goodness in him, which we do see in when I think it's called The Empire Strikes Back, wherein Luke Skywalker ultimately kills Darth Vader, right? Is that so?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where in one scene I remember that very nice Satyajit Mukherjee, he writes being honest matters. Very true. I that is true, that yes, he was a good guy, and we all have, don't you think, we all every human being on this planet have a good and of course bad, everything together. So and yes, Navya, do agree that yes, we all have the good and the bad and the ugly side of ours, but it's up to us to decide which one to use, right?
There's no such thing as ugly. It's just people in society thinking that you're ugly or you're pretty. It's just
Okay.
people's opinions.
Okay,
trying to
it's
make you
it's
think
all in
like
the
that.
mind. So Navya, tell me, I do see that you do a lot of illustrations, right?
You mean drawing?
Drawings. So have you created any comic book, comic story of your own?
Yes.
Can you be a little louder, please?
Yes, I did.
So what is it? What's your comic story? What's your character that you've created?
Well, my character's name is Paintbrush.
Paintbrush. So what does Paintbrush do?
She's just Paintbrush is
A
just
superhero
They
or
are
something?
just a superhero,
Okay.
and
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So great. So yes, I do see. So at this age, in fact, you have started creating books, writing books for a very long time, right? No?
I just
Comics?
do comics for just like 2 years. That's it.
2 years. So, but how does this side of yours that you make interested in comic books, how does it hinder in any kind of hindrance in your studies? Because you do study, you're a good student, but does it take over your study time?
No. Usually artwork and making is actually helping me in my studies, not like making me fail or anything. Because basically, since the illustrations and comics requires organization and planning skills,
Okay.
so that's why I'm getting good grades on my tests
Okay.
than more like bad stuff.
Good. So that does mean that having a creative side and actually using it in practicing it does help you in your regular life. It does help you. So you said organization skills and planning skills. You have to
Yes.
do a lot of planning. You have to. Do you make a storyboard or something like that before?
No, I don't make storyboards. I just make it in my head and then I just do it.
So,
I
awesome.
I don't plan when I make comics. I just plan it in my head because that's
Very
better
nice.
for me.
Very nice.
But for other people, they just plan it out basically.
Okay, so so do you have friends? Are kids your age too much interested in? So what do you call comics? I hear a lot of like
Graphic
animation,
novels.
anime.
The anime
Graphic-
is Japanese art.
So these are all part of graphic novel, right?
Well, for Japanese comics, you call them manga
Mm-hmm.
because they have a way different style, which is way more animated and way more basically prettier.
Okay.
But
Navya, I have a question from you, and I want to know, and all my listeners as well, I'm sure. So these days, you get all these stuff, all these entertainment stuff on these mobile devices, right? So what happens to the books, to the bookstore, especially since...
I mean, I have a thing against books because they're made of paper and paper is dead trees and we're basically using dead stuff.
No, my question is so should we be, are we preparing ourselves to see that ultimately there will be no comic books? It's only going to be in devices or just the digital form?
I believe that it should be on the devices, but
So the digital.
yes, you can do digital art, which I do on my phone, basically, and you see me on my phone all the time.
Yes, I do see
I
that.
also have games that I take screenshots from and I make edits out of them.
Okay.
Like, for example, I've made a fandom edit, like a Steven Universe edit, which is a very good show, which has a lot of girl power in it.
Wow. So yes, I do see you watching Steven Universe as well. So is that your favorite character?
Steven Universe is my favorite character.
Favorite character?
He's
Steven
very
Universe?
feminine, which I like since that was the only show created by a woman in Cartoon Network.
Okay.
And I feel very proud because usually all the other good shows are created by men, but the best show in Cartoon Network is Steven Universe because it has a story and
Okay.
it's going along with the plot and it's like getting on track and it's very funny
It's funny too.
and very amazing.
And Navya, just last week I was reading that now I think it is what Netflix is going to launch a cartoon animation by do you remember the name that it's going to be out from I don't remember which country in the African continent, but it's going to be there.
Well, I forgot the title, but I've researched about it.
Yeah.
And I've heard it's a good show since it has about these four African teenage girls who are
Team 4,
yeah,
right? Team 4.
No,
Mom and something.
Super Moms.
Team
4
4.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this shows like since now they're making shows about girl power, because since there was no shows at all. This happened recently.
Recently, yes. I read
And
last
they want
week.
little girls, or girls specifically, to feel that they have power in them. They have the feminine power in them, and they're strong. And basically, they can do what any man can do too.
Wow, that's really beautiful. And I do notice that, yes, you do research a lot before creating something, or you want to, if I share something, some news with you, you do find the facts for it, which is great. So, Navya, what would you, so I have many kids also listening to my show, many parents. So first I would like to know from you that, which we understood, that yes, definitely should use your creative side and express, right? That's a way of expression. And so would you tell my listeners why, the benefits of it and why they should? So no, what should be your message to my young listeners about their using their creative side?
Well, just watch cartoons because that's what 90s kids did.
Okay.
But
90s
I am
kids.
a not that present kid. I love to.
So you're not the present time kid?
Well, I was born in 2007, which makes me old. But
Okay.
yes,
okay.
I'm not that old since my sister always says I'm just a baby still. And
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
But, well, basically just watch cartoons. Basically look around life and make something out of it. Make
Wow.
like an imaginative side of it. Like, for example, the floor is lava. You're basically in a house pretending the floor is lava and you're basically jumping on household items.
Okay.
But beware, don't break anything.
I like that message that yes,
Yes.
you can watch, you can do things that definitely gives
Yes,
you.
because kids have this type of mindset. Small kids, I can't pronounce it.
Specifically, okay.
Yes, but that they see imaginative stuff more than just realism, because
Yes,
they want to
yes.
entertain themselves. They don't want to
Yeah.
get bored.
Yeah.
This is why siblings should play with their
But
siblings.
at the same time, also, I really appreciate you for saying this, that yes, you can do all these things, the weirdest thing, as long as you're
Like, for
safe.
example, throwing chairs, but
Yeah, as
just
long
do
as
it in
you're
your
safe,
mind.
you're
Yes.
not, just don't get too much of it. Let's keep it where it belongs. Just don't get overboard with it. For example, you said that there are things that help you in your academics, right? In also your day-to-day life, you can use your planning skills, organization skills. What about time management skills?
Well, yes, this all benefited me because of my creativity.
So, Navya, we are continuing. This is very nice. We have so many wonderful viewers, as you say. Let's take their name. We have to thank them that so many people are watching. And I wanted to also mention this, that you see Satyajit Mukherjee, Munna. He's published, and he actually did a pretty good work with children's books. Do you remember that? Yeah, that was a great book that he did, and I invited him on my show one time, and it was a great experience. So, Navya, so what is it? Do you have a message for the parents as well?
My message is that let your kids be creative.
Can you be a little louder?
My message is that let your kids be creative, let them be themselves. Don't yell on them because they broke a household furniture. They were just using their creativity.
So Navya says to the parents that I'm a parent, and we should not yell at them because they have broken something.
Or they did something. Well,
yeah, it's okay. You're right. I mean, we have to.
They're just kids.
They're just kids.
Take it easy on them.
Yes, take it easy on the kids. That is such a. I think that's a beautiful message you shared, and we would like to thank all our viewers for joining us and also sharing your comments. Thank you so much. And Navya, it was a pleasure. It's always been a pleasure to have you on my show. You've been on my show in the past, and you always come up with such beautiful messages, and it seems like you know your stuff. You know what you're doing.
Of course, kids are smarter, basically.
Kids are smarter. That's very good. So thank you very much for joining. And Navya, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we'll be back on, yes, of course, next week on our show, Bindas with Trisha. Bindas with?
Trisha.
Yes, with Navya. No, Bindas with Navya. Thank you, Navya. Thank you.